Hello everyone, welcome back for another battle, another matchup, and for today I bring with me a special guest host, awesome caster as well on YouTube, been around on the scene for quite a while, and my partner in crime in GG Rated. We have Sebastian from GG Vision, PolygonRevue channel here with me. Hello Sebastian, how are you today?
Hello Hydra, I'm excellent today and I'm so happy to be casting this very epic game, which as I understand is indeed very exclusive. I hear not even Husky knows it exists. It's between ThisIsJimmy and vileSpanshwa, the creationist himself. This is beyond epic, my friend.
Yeah, well, I already casted a match between these two guys, and these two matches were played at the same time. I just casted the other one, then a lot of stuff happened, as you know, all the Heart of the Swarm news and all of that, so I left it a bit on the side. But yeah, this replay file is not available on the biggest channels, the biggest replay websites, so I'm pretty sure most people don't have access to it, and I got it here set on the side and gonna cast it with you now. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Hopefully it's gonna be a nice battle because it involves the Spanishiwa, the Spanish Inquisition, or Spanishiwa Inquisition if you want to call it like that. Him and his queens just dominating the scene, and he's such a creative player. And he's going to be facing against this blue Terran who is ThisIsJimmy. I already had a couple of mentions to ThisIsJimmy. The guy has a real life job, he focuses a lot on his real life as well, so doesn't have as much time as other pro gamers to improve his game in this Evolve, but still he's one of the most solid Terrans playing in North America. He has his own stream and he's quite a good player. He's a veteran, and I remember hearing a lot about him on the early stages of Starcraft 2 when the game just came out, and especially on beta phase 2 as well.
Exactly, I've seen him on several casts. He's one of the more prolific amateurs, if you will. And I suppose you can say in a way Spanishiwa is still an amateur, having not yet won any official titles, but has definitely won all our hearts with his show matches against and with TLO, now going for his fast expansion before spawning pool, and he even made sure that his first scouting overlord was not seen by ThisIsJimmy. All those little things. I do hope we see Spanishiwa really prevail and become a true pro, because he can really showcase those beautiful strategies that again capture your mind as well as claims victories. Now ThisIsJimmy going for a Reaper for some harassment, scouting and light map control, and we'll just have to see what kind of crazy stuff Spanishiwa will throw at him.
Well, I'm assuming that Spanishiwa is doing his Heist Fisher build, the one that is basically the staple build, the most well-known, and it's a build that focuses a lot on drone production. Just get a massive amount of drones early on. You get your defense and your units to protect your bases with the queens. He's going to produce at least 4 queens. And he needs to focus a lot on his creep spread. As far as I know, he even commits the first energy from the first queen coming out to get a creep tumor really quickly, so he can have a nice creep spread. And I mean, it makes perfect sense. He needs those queens to be quick enough between bases to defend against this kind of harass. And as you can see, we already have a bunker rush. Bunker rush going down here at the axis, at the entrance to the Natural Expo from Spanishiwa, with Reapers going back and forth waiting for the bunker to be finished, and that SCV had to run away because we already have Spanishiwa with some workers and a couple of Zerglings trying to defend this aggression, and for now containing the harass from ThisIsJimmy.
But a second Reaper is on the way. Maybe it will jump up on the ledge and enter the main base. No, it seems like it will actually join the battle here in the front. Now 2 Reapers, 2 Queens, and 3 Zerglings. This looks like Spanishiwa, being Spanishiwa, should be able to hold it. The Reaper is dangerously close to dying, but here we see the beauty of it. And we don't see enough Reaper play in StarCraft 2 yet. That is a sad fact. And here we see perhaps ThisIsJimmy showing just what they can do while losing one. So there I get my hopes up for nothing. But now he's in the base, and we see Spanishiwa going for double gas, and the Reaper is being chased off. But 2 Reaper, 1 fresh one, is in it again, and the bunker is still up, now being constructed as again. So it seems like ThisIsJimmy is serious about this Reaper harass. SCV going down.
He did basically the same on the previous match against Spanishiwa. He went for a lot of pressure with Reapers. He got to a point on the previous match where he had something like 5 Reapers going back and forth in front of Spanishiwa's Natural Expo, and I guess he's doing the same. It's just a strong, solid pressure on the early stages of the game, try to contain Spanishiwa movements. It paid off on the previous match, like I mentioned, but probably Spanishiwa now learned the lesson and he has a way of counter that. We do see on Jimmy's side, he's finishing his wall off, plenty of racks already, and already has a second orbital command ready to grab his expo. So apparently he's going to commit himself to a bit of macro play here, establish his second base so he can benefit from the income. Also because Spanishiwa, as you know, this build focus a lot on the worker count, and as you can see there's already a little gap there, 28 workers against 25. And he needs to keep working on his worker count and his base count so he can keep on the race, on the economy race, and get a nice defense established, or else Spanishiwa will just make a push and crush him.
Indeed, now getting 4 barracks up and getting siege mode actually almost done with that. So it seems like he will be Turtle Terran with 2 Reapers out here on the eastern flank of Spanishiwa land, and he will definitely try to just sit back and try to hold against this. Is this what they call the Ice Fisher build? 6 queens and 2, make that a whole bunch of roaches approaching Spanishiwa's base. And you of course see the creep highway not even having extended halfway to ThisIsJimmy yet, but that does not hold Spanishiwa back. This is what it's all about. This is the kind of crazy meta game abusing stuff that he does. And here the battle commences. 2 siege tanks in siege mode. Hydra, how will this go?
Well, the roaches are just entering the natural expo, destroying those tanks so quickly, and now with the queens getting some nice transfusions on the roaches, keeping them ready to go for the second wave of assault. And here they come, roaches climbing up that ramp, trying to destroy as much of ThisIsJimmy's bases as possible, interrupting the works on the natural expo, forcing him to lift that command center and forcing ThisIsJimmy to pull all these workers to defend. Notice the brilliant transfusion play there.
Transfusions away.
At the same time, keep in mind that the steam tank is still not finished. It's delayed there, taking a little while, kind of like half done at the moment, and Spanishiwa is just trying to destroy as much as possible and contain the progress from ThisIsJimmy. Basically at the moment he's playing out of one base. He had to interrupt his works, his mineral exploration on his natural expo, and we have a bunch of queens and roaches just trying to poke at all the buildings on the natural expo, destroying several supply depots, several units, and now we have ThisIsJimmy basically contained inside his main base and waiting to have enough numbers, once again, enough marines to shoo away this big force that Spanishiwa sent. Also, notice the amount of creep and the amount of creep tumors available. He's just trying to make a big highway, a big motorway towards ThisIsJimmy's base, and if he gets it this close to the natural expo, those queens will be so much quicker. Still, they're being very effective in keeping all of those roaches alive, so brilliant play here by Spanishiwa.
Indeed, it is brilliant, but as you can see, Hydra, he may be spreading his creepway all the way and even pushing these marines back, even though they got 2 siege tanks supporting them, but he's letting his money get severely high. He's not reinforcing as fast as he could, now taking gold expansion just to extend his advantage, but he could have had a whole gang of new roaches and queens up here already had he been able to multitask enough to use all those resources accordingly. He won that battle, but he could have won the game already had he been even better at Starcraft 2 than what he is. If we should fault Spanishiwa for anything, it would be not reinforcing his army quickly enough, since he's got the resources. And now it seems like these marines indeed will be taking out the remaining roaches and queens. So Spanishiwa's attack has been stopped, but he's definitely in a commanding advantage, now building a macro hatchery at his natural expansion.
Yeah, and at the same time, notice that it was a nice move. He applied the pressure on Jimmy, didn't allow him to even get out of his main base for quite a while, and at the same time he was grabbing the rich mineral field. So he has a hatchery just popped up on the rich mineral field. He's going to be playing out of 3 bases with the bold move here, and now he's going to have a ton of drones to transfer. Let me take a look at the worker count. 54 workers against 29.
Indeed.
So
yeah, that's an advantage.
Notice how far he is ahead on the economy game, and now with this rich mineral field getting pumped out by a lot of workers, he's gonna skyrocket on his economy. It's funny to see that he's taking the chance. He's bold enough to just risk advancing to this rich mineral field. As you know, here on Metalopolis, it's kinda hard to defend. There's a lot of entrances, all of them fairly wide, so not the easiest place to defend, but still Spanishiwa is going to take the chance, and he might be profiting from it soon enough. Let me take a look at the economy. Yeah, it's already boosting away, 1500 against 1100 minerals currently. So Spanishiwa is going to be able to reinforce his army and make a huge wave of Zerglings soon enough to just try to crush and throw a final killing blow into ThisIsJimmy's base. Also notice the amount of creep. Is now Jimmy pulling some Marines to try to finish off some of these tumors because the creep is almost knocking on his door.
Exactly. ThisIsJimmy is forced to waste scans on taking out creep tumors. I think he will be forced to get a Raven even. Now Roach is coming up to contend with those Marines about it. So he only now finished his starports very recently, not even close to having late game tech, whereas we see ThisIsJimmy going all out on upgrades. Level 1, melee and armor almost done, overload speed, burrow, metabolic boost, baneling speed, and Zerg, Roach range. Got the baneling nest just a moment ago. But Spanishiwa is truly now exploiting the fact that he is in such a commanding advantage that he opens up every conceivable tech route, and now going for infestor, pathogen glands, etc. He will now be able to throw anything at Jimmy. Whatever his opponent chooses to do, Spanishiwa will be able to be prepared, and Jimmy can't even mule up enough because this creep will eventually spread into his base. And the funny thing is, the interesting thing is that Spanishiwa is not afraid to take this to the late game, because if the Terran gets a position here on the opposite gold expansion, he can deny this, and crucial medevac drops can definitely take down Zerg expansion in moments. So ThisIsJimmy is not out of the game, even though he's well behind, but Spanishiwa is not afraid to take it to the late game. And now we see a Marine drop doing just that, shutting down this expansion. I don't believe that even Spanishiwa can save this. So
that was close.
Yes, indeed, it seems like he will. Very close. So take that back, ladies and gentlemen. Spanishiwa is boss. Now a whole street gang of banelings rolling up just to show who's boss. But indeed, Spanishiwa, he gives us the kind of games that we do want to see. And if Jimmy can claw himself back, well, then he's a baller indeed.
Well, for now you can see that Spanishiwa grabbed that 4th base, which was supposed to be his 3rd, and nice fungal growth on top of all of those units with the infestors, trying to lead the charge, and here comes massive push here, done by Spanishiwa. He's trying to grind down the bio forces from Jimmy, with those infestors leading the way, trying to fungal growth anything that moves.
Fungal growth too!
Notice that at the same time you have Jimmy just trying to recede the creep and destroying all of those creep tumors that were making that big highway towards his area. And we had the drop being attempted once more on his 4th base, easily and quickly thwarted by Spanishiwa, and now Spanishiwa is preparing his forces to make another push with some burrowed infestors trying to advance, and a nice fungal once more. A lot of Zerglings advancing here, nice surround on the mech forces, and now going straight to the bio with banelings splashing that acid damage right on top of the Marines. Oh, massive damage done there. So many Marines got completely melted away by the acid bath from those banelings. Brilliant play here by Spanishiwa, and putting once again Jimmy back to Stone Age on his army count. He's 178 against 79, and now it's time for ThisIsJimmy to do something, do or die, or else he might be just finished right here, right now.
And look at this medevac on the eastern side of the map being followed by a baneling and a whole bunch of Zerglings, just for good measure. Spanishiwa, he truly has this, but I suppose that Jimmy has a resemblance of a fighting chance. He's still got enough money in his one mining expansion to do some hurt, and Spanishiwa still has a few tech routes left to explore. He's not even neuroparasited medevacs or siege tanks yet, and getting tunneling claws for his roaches, so it seems like there is at least one more epic battle to ensue before we know who the victor is, and those are just too many banelings popping. Ow.
I'm taking a look at the economy again, 2500 against 1000 from Jimmy, with the big dropping coming into Spanishiwa's base. A lot of medevacs are loading a lot of units here on the main base of Spanishiwa, with Spanishiwa now pulling all of his units to save the day here, and awesome fungal growth on top of the medevacs, just holding them all. They cannot move from there and are just getting chewed down slowly, and he's going to destroy all of them with Marines in them and all. Beautiful play here by Spanishiwa. Another fungal growth just to finish it off, while the bulk of the forces from Spanishiwa advance north. Notice all of those roaches, banelings and Zerglings advancing to crush ThisIsJimmy, and ThisIsJimmy just decided to GG out of the match. It was too much, and he knew what would be coming right there, so he decided that after that drop he didn't have anything else to throw at Spanishiwa and got out of this game. So Spanishiwa getting his revenge on this one. GG!
GG indeed. That was Zerg play like we never see it before. Spanishiwa is the young TLO of Zerg. This is the kind of stuff I remember from the Starcraft beta days 1 year ago, when the game was new and no one knew anything about it. And that's when creative players like this can truly reinvent the formula and just do things that aren't supposed to be done. Whether you call it the Ice Fisher build or just an ass kicker's way to victory, Spanishiwa has the capacity, and we love him for it. I really hope that he considers going pro, and that we'll see him at tournaments, and whether or not he can hold up in such circumstances, whether he's got what it takes to do it live as well.
Yeah, well, it seems like he's doing fairly well. Now we've been watching more of his matches against some of the big references on the North American side, especially. ThisIsJimmy is a big name in North America as well, and he's quite a solid Terran player. So I need to congrats Spanishiwa. I did very well on this match. And let's go for the next one. See you all later, guys. Have fun.